I don't think I have ever met a single soul on this planet that has ever watched this TV show. I try to get into like weird corners of the internet so you can escape what's going on in the real world, at least temporarily. Come on back to us. We need you here.
Delicious hot schmoes.
I'm sorry to keep doing this, but I went and watched Project Hail Mary again. This time in IMAX, because it was beautiful in the crappy theater that I saw it in the first time, so I figured it would be just as good, if not better, in IMAX, and I was right. This movie is incredible just in its own right, but it's even more incredible in IMAX. But because there's a new, I guess a good new sci-fi film that just came out, / space movie, I wanted to just talk a little bit about some of my favorite sci-fi space movie TV show projects that have ever existed. Currently. This is like my current favorite things that I've ever seen. Doesn't mean they're the best. There's one or two of these that you guys will agree are phenomenal. And there's one or two of these that you guys are going to say, what is that? Or you liked that? Or something like that. It's just a few. We're not gonna sit here for like 45 minutes and break down these movies. No. I just want to chat and tell you about the few things that I hold like near and dear to my heart as far as projects are concerned, so that way you can understand and more fully understand where I come from when I talk about these things. There is a caveat to this. I'm not going to talk about Star Wars. Because Star Wars, for two reasons. One, Star Wars would basically span the entire top 10 list if I made a top 10 list. I love Star Wars projects. They're phenomenal. Obviously, I have my gripes with them as well. But Star Wars would be in the top on most of these kinds of lists if I were to make one. And the other reason why I'm not going to include Star Wars is because you can throw the argument at me that Star Wars is a fantasy series, not a sci-fi series. I would accept that argument. So today, I would like to talk to you about 6 projects that exist in this world that you may or may not have seen. And we're going to start with the one that you probably have seen and many people regard as one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever put to the big screen, created by none other than the greatest film director of our time, most likely Christopher Nolan, and we're talking about Inception. You thought I was going to say Interstellar, didn't you? You thought I was going to say Interstellar. No, we're talking Inception today. Because this movie, when I saw this movie for the first time as a younger child, I was blown away. This movie was exciting. It was trippy. It made me just think. It's such a well done movie that the narrative of this story, whether it makes complete sense or not to you, you can't deny that it is just engulfing you in this media, in this project. It is so well crafted. Love this movie. So it is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's not my favorite one, but it's one of them, definitely. Next, a lesser known film that you may or may not know the actual name of, because the name of this movie is Edge of Tomorrow. I grew up thinking the title of this movie was Live, Die, Repeat, because on one of the main posters for this movie, that is the tagline, and I don't remember seeing the title on the actual poster, so I just knew it as Live, Die, Repeat for years before I was like, oh wait, it has a real name, Edge of Tomorrow. This movie is just really, really enjoyable to watch. It's a good sci-fi, and the whole, like, time redoing the day, I know it's a trope that's been done many times, but it's done very well here. And this movie is very rewatchable to me. Not all movies are as rewatchable as this movie. And that's why I love it.
Come find me when you wake up!
Now to an even more niche project. I don't think I have ever met a single soul on this planet that has ever watched this TV show. It is a weird show. Okay, it was a weird show when I watched it. It's a weird show when I think about it, and I haven't gone back to see it since I watched it a few years ago. This TV show is called Raised by Wolves.
And now we start again. Does anyone know the story of the 3 little pigs?
This is such a weird story of these robot characters that are sent to a new planet with incubation tubes of humans to be able to restart the human race on a different planet that the human race can survive on. That's the basic plot of this show. Where it gets weird is some weird, like, sci-fi, like, level religious god entity stuff that goes on. Very strange, very odd. Would recommend. If you want just a weird TV show to watch, you should watch Raised by Wolves. Because at the very least, whether it's a good show or not, it got me to keep watching till the very end. And I'm kind of sad there wasn't another season. Another TV show that is incredibly niche, and also, I don't think I've met anybody that has watched this show. It was an old AMC or ABC? An ABC show? I don't remember where it aired. But I didn't know that this show existed while it was on air. I watched it on Netflix, not knowing that it got canceled after 2 seasons, and it ends with a massive cliffhanger, and I never got to, like, recoup from that trauma of getting to the end and being like, what do you mean they canceled the show? The show I'm talking about is Into the Badlands.
We know it's out there beyond our borders. It's a paradise.
This is an epic, what feels like an anime-inspired TV show. It might actually be an anime or a comic, like a manga, turned into a live-action show. So epic. It's got epic, over-the-top sword fights.
You ensure he will slit your throat. I know the other barons are coming on.
In a post-apocalyptic world that's dealing in drug trade and lords and barons of this world who employ / slave people.
Your parents died after a life of servitude and left you to pay off their debt.
I put slave in quotations because we're on YouTube. But it is such a fun show, and it was leading to such a great place. It's one of the shows that when I want to watch an epic, just like, I don't know, action-packed TV show, I go watch Into the Badlands. It's only 2 seasons long, and it's not long enough because they cut it short. You should go watch this TV show.
You are.
And then another show that I very much enjoyed, and this is a show that more people have seen. I've talked to a lot of people who have seen this show, and I really enjoyed this show. This is why I'm making this video altogether, is just to say, hey, here's some things that I enjoyed. You should also enjoy them. Is The Expanse. If you've never heard of this show, The Expanse is just a really cool take on what would happen if, and how life would be if humanity ended up leaving Earth and colonizing the moon, and Mars, and the asteroid belts, and those types of things. It follows a crew of people that are just kind of doing a bunch of random stuff for a bunch of random people, and it's just really a good take on how this stuff would work. It feels realistic, it feels possible, minus a few things, but it's a good time. It's a good time. You should watch The Expanse. Honorable mention. I'm not going to say any more other than I enjoyed the show. Altered Carbon. I like that show. A movie that I enjoyed. Ex Machina. Loved that movie. I also like iRobot and Interstellar and all of the ones that people enjoy. But the sci-fi movie that has made me love sci-fi films, for some reason, I don't know why it was this movie. To be honest, I don't know what about this movie really makes me love it so much. But I do. I love this movie. It is such a good watch. It is like entertaining. It is heartbreaking. It is enjoyable. It's visually stunning. It's the movie that I have seen the most times in theaters, at over 10 times. I don't remember if it was 12 or 11, but I watched this movie in every format you could watch this movie in theaters, multiple times. The movie I'm talking about is The Creator. I love this movie. And if you want to watch a sci-fi film and you don't know what to watch, I would desperately and highly recommend you turn on this movie if you haven't seen it already. Because I love it. And I want all of you to love it. If at all possible. If possible. I mean, at the very least, give it a shot. And then come back and write in the comments and tell me if you liked or disliked the movie. As I watch these sci-fi movies, because I watch them all the time, I try to get into like weird corners of the internet of sci-fi films. Most of those films don't deserve to be talked about, really. But this movie, honestly, it made my life better. I can't tell you why, because I don't really know why. But it did. So go watch The Creator, or The Expanse, or Into the Badlands, or Raised by Wolves if you want a really wacky TV show. Watch something that takes your world and makes it something else. So you can escape what's going on in the real world, at least temporarily. Come on back to us, we need you here. But escape the real world for a second and go enjoy some true and beautiful sci-fi, because it's the best. There's a reason why we as humanity strive for these kinds of things. It's because sci-fi has always been the dream to live. So I just want you to go enjoy your own sci-fi. But I would encourage you to try some of these sci-fi that I enjoy. But whatever you do, just remember, there's no bad choice of a sci-fi film or TV show when they're all better than Tombstone. The worst movie in the entire world. I've never seen it, and I never will. Peace.
Delicious hot schmoes.